Oh, you can't see the background. So I'm sitting here getting ready to leave, actually. And I've been trying to do some editing. I just haven't been able to get to it. That view, you can kind of see it now. I don't know how to work this camera too well, but uh, I just haven't had the ability to sit down and do editing and screening and and I suck at editing, right? But when you've got that outside, and if you don't recognize it, that's the Nile, and right over there are the pyramids. And I'm getting ready to leave Egypt, but I'm in the middle of posting videos about this trip to Poland and Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, where I just kind of went. Was just bored, and there was a $50 flight, so I just took it and went where it took me. And I had a great time. So I'll get back to editing that. I've got a couple of weeks coming up sitting on a beach doing nothing. No, luxury hotels, no suite upgrades, just a cheap basic apartment. Put my feet in the sand a little bit and get some of this editing done. So hopefully I'll catch up. I mean, with me, who knows, right? I may or may not, but that trip to Poland, and I'll do a better recap of it, but I was literally just sitting around waiting for my passport, and I was like, oh, let me go take a bus trip, and then I got the phone call or the email, hey, your passport's ready, and I'm like, well, shoot, why not go to Poland for $50, right? And that was just a cascade of events. I went to a bunch of little cities I hadn't been to, or a couple cities I hadn't been to, and a couple cities I wanted to revisit. So it was just great. But I'll get back into that when I land. Well, tonight I have a late flight tonight, so maybe tomorrow. But I've had a couple conversations with people lately, and the second point I want to make in this video is I'm knocking shit off my bucket list at a record speed for me, like record speed, and I'm going slow. I'm intentionally going slow to savor the moment. And, if you're sitting at home and you've lost that get up out of your chair, go outside attitude, what can we do to bring you out into the world? What can we do to get you out of that chair is my question. If you've lost that zest for life, my question is, because I get so frustrated when I think about myself 10 years ago, sitting in that chair waiting to die, and I had lost that zest for life. I was deep in depression. I was, all kinds of problems, health, mental, physical, and the more focused I got on goals and the more deliberate I got about my life, the more life got easier. And at the same time it's getting easier, it's getting more fabulous. And I can't understand, like, there's supposed to be a downside here. And I mean, sure, there's little dips and there's downsides, but I'm trying to figure out, like, how such simple things I did made my life so amazing. Where I'm sitting on the bank of the Nile. Like, I don't know if you understand how impossible that thought was for me. Like, I had this dream of just, I'm not a big pyramid guy, but I wanted to put my hand on the pyramid and feel if there's anything there to feel, right? And I did it. Like, holy shit, I did it. And all it took was me, like, changing my perspective on a few little things, learning to work within my budget, learning to prioritize, learning to be deliberate about my future and my current life. And I've been blessed by so many amazing people helping me out along the way. And I don't think most of them even know they're helping me out. So you take people like California Bear 619, such an inspiration to me, because when I met him online, he was doing his thing. He's like, I've got this goal, and he just hammered it out till he got to see his son. Just a crazy thing. Ugly Tourist, when I met him, he's like, look, this is my plan. I want to do this, this, and this. And he did it. He did exactly what he said he wanted to do. There's so many people like that. And I've gotten to know a couple, other people that aren't on YouTube that are the same way. like this is my goal and I'm doing it, right? Focus on Asia. I haven't had a lot of like deep personal conversations with him, but you look at his videos and he's pretty happy. He's doing exactly what he says he wants to be doing. He's out there tasting great food, seeing amazing temples. And he's like my travel agent now because I'm looking at all his shit going, okay, I need to go there. I want to go there. I want to go there. He's a great, like, groundbreaker, brush breaker, right? And there's so many out there. San Juan Union Vlog, same thing. He's just out there enjoying the life. I hope I got that name right. I screw up names all the time. But I'm just sitting here. I had the most spectacular breakfast. The nicest young lady was bringing me coffee with a big smile. And it just made, like, it just really capped this vacation or this excursion, this bucket list off perfectly. And, I can't speak highly enough about this hotel. The Hilton Maddie, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but in Cairo, and it is just fabulous. It's not near a lot of downtown nightlife. You're gonna have to take a taxi everywhere, Uber, but this is the Hilton experience they advertise on TV right here. And I've had this at a few other properties, but this is the Hilton experience they advertise, and it's really just fabulous. But I'm just, I'm sitting here bubbling because I'm so excited, and life is so good, and I can't explain why, other than I'm just blessed, and I had the right people come into my life at the right time and give me the right guidance and got me out of that chair. And I was sitting there at breakfast going, if this person, that person, there were so many places to fail, right? But it all came down to, do I want to get up and get out of my chair and go outside and play? Or do I want to sit there and play Xbox? Or for me, it was Atari 2600. Do I want to play River Raid, or do I want to go outside on my bike? And the thing that struck me, I went to this local mall yesterday. There were so many young men in this mall just hanging out, like groups of them, 3, 4, 5, just sitting there doing nothing, on their phone, chatting, whatever. And it really struck me when I was that age, 10 to 25, you would not see me just sitting around hanging out, right? Every once in a while in the evening, we'd go to the beach, eat some ice cream or sarsaparilla, and or something like that. But I was always doing something. I was always like, I want to go outside. Even when we played video games, it was wasn't forever, and it was a higher tempo, and we'd play and then go do other things. We had that energy to get up and go, and I found that energy to get up and go a little bit. And the more I do, the more I want to do more. And so it's just breaking that threshold of, hey, go outside and do something. And when you go outside and do something, you want to do more. And then you start doing more, and then you start doing more. And next thing you know, you're going to end up in Egypt or Japan or Poland, or, pick your spot. Get a globe, spin it, and throw a dart at it and see what happens. Is that someplace you want to go? No, go. Sort it out. Make the plan, dream the dream, make the plan, and execute. It's really that, I don't know. I'm so excited about life, and so excited. And it kind of scares me because I'm waiting for the downfall. I'm waiting for the negative side. I'm waiting for this or that. But as long as I stick to the principles I've been implementing the last 3 to 5 years, my life just keeps getting better and better and happier and happier. And I feel sad for a lot of these people online. There was a bunch of people in the Philippines YouTube community a couple of weeks ago talking about, don't talk to expats, stay away from expats are bad. And I'm like, if you're having problems making friends, look in the mirror. If you're having problems finding a girlfriend or a wife or someone to date, look in the mirror. And when you're a good friend, people just get attracted to you. When you're a good person, people just get attracted to you. When you're acting like a shithead, guess what? They go away. And it's all up to you. If you want to have that relationship, go be somebody that a woman wants to hang out with. If you want to have those good buddies, Go be that good buddy. If you want to develop that pack to explore the world with, go be that guy, and people will find you. And it's really, I don't know, I get so frustrated listening to a lot of people. They're just down, 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 down. And, they belittle other people who are having a good time. But remember, I'm the guy who's supposed to be jealous of that other chucklehead that I was talking about on YouTube. I'm the guy that's supposed to be jealous of him because, he's got this and this and that. And, he's going to the doctor for infections because he can't clean his fingernails before he scratches his mosquitoes bites. It's like, maybe don't get bit by a mosquito. Maybe don't scratch your bites like an adult. And maybe stop talking trash about other people like I just did. But he came up in a few conversations, and a couple people have been, tagging me on YouTube comments about him recently. And it just cracks me up, because you can live that life or you can live the life you want. So, my whole thing right now is, if you can dream it and you can plan it, chances are you can do it. If you can dream it, you can plan it, chances are you can do it. And it's just a matter of, do you want to get up out of the chair and go outside? Or do you want to sit on the couch, watch YouTube, and be miserable? And if I'm making you miserable, click dislike and go away. Don't come back for more. If I'm making you upset, click dislike, go away, and don't come back for more. Find the people that lift you up. Find the voices to put in your head that inspire you to get up and go do what you dream about doing. You've only got so many sunsets. You've only got so many full moons. You've only got so many Christmases, so many 4th of Julys. And, that number is counting down. I was watching Marcos on Overstay Road a few years ago, and he talked about, like, I've only got this many, birthdays left or whatever, right? And, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to sit around? I already made my plans, my reservations, not plans, reservations for Christmas. I made them 3 months ago because I know exactly where I want to be and exactly what I want to do, because I had such a good time last year. And if I meet somebody between now and then, they can come with me, or they can just, do their own thing. But I know where I'm going. And the more deliberate I get and the more specific I get, the better my life gets. So I don't know if anybody wanted to hear this, if anybody listens to it all, but, I'm kind of pissed off that life is so good, because why wasn't I living this 30 years ago, 40 years ago? Why wasn't I being so deliberate and specific about my goals, when I was a teenager? If I'd learned to be specific and deliberate about my goals when I was a teenager, I can't imagine the life I would have lived. And lessons learned, right? That's one you can put in the book as a lesson learned, is, the more specific and the more deliberate I get about my life, or I have gotten, and I do get about my life, my future, the more likely it is to happen, and the happier and easier life gets. I can't tell you how many things just seem to fall in place, and I'm looking around like, how did I get so lucky? And I can't explain it. I can't explain all the blessings I've had in the last few years. And they may all fall apart. I may be on the streets next week. Who knows? But today, I know I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And it has a lot to do with the people I've met along the way. Because they were there when I doubted things. They were there when I was angry, and not necessarily in person. They were there, as an example of what I could and should be doing. And so, I really appreciate all those people that don't even know I leaned on them, because they were just being a good example of a good human being when I needed an example to look at. So thankful to them. Anyway, I've rambled. It's 15 minutes in. Again, I was shocked. I heard all these horror stories about Egypt. Most of them are true, but most of them won't affect you if you do it smartly. And I'll get into that when I start editing the Egypt footage. Take care.